Hello, 5th grade. I am filming what I hope is our very last remote art video. And we just looked at the art of John James Audubon, and I am going to start an eagle today. You are going to need a pencil, a thin marker, and either crayons, color pencils, or watercolors. You might need two of those. So eagles are birds that we often see in winter around here. But some other birds you could choose from are woodpeckers, owls, or cardinals. Whatever bird you're choosing, you need to find a picture of the bird. A lot of books and magazines have pictures of birds. So find a picture that you'll be able to look at. You can see I have my picture right in front of me while I draw. I want you to have your picture right next to you too. I'm going to look for basic shapes first, and I'm going to try and find some basic shapes in the body of the eagle. So if I take my pencil and I kind of trace around the body, I have almost a rectangular shape. It's also going at an angle. You see how if I lay my pencil on there, I can just transfer it right over to my paper. The bottom of my body is a little bit wider. And it comes up just a little bit narrower towards the neck. So I kind of have the beginning of a rectangle there. And I'm going in the same angle. I'm going to look at the head because that's my next main shape. And it curves forward. And I can use my pencil again to figure out what angle the head is going down. So it's going down at this direction right here. You can see I'm drawing very lightly. And then I'm going to look at the beak. Now all of these right now are just guidelines. I don't have to be committed to them. I can always erase if I need to. I'll draw them just a little bit darker so you'll be able to see them. Try and keep yours light though. Alright, now my other main shapes are the wings, the tail, and the legs. So I think the legs, I'm going to look at those, and I see them starting, well, let's see, maybe right up in here. So I know that curve has got to start on the rectangle shape. Their legs are covered with a lot of feathers, so they're pretty fluffy in the back. And I see it is pretty straight in the front. The second leg, so I've got my legs in general there. Still doesn't look much like an eagle, does it? Let's see, my tail pretty much just comes flat off of the back, so I just have to extend the line here. And then I do have some feathers that kind of cross in front, so I will want to add those in too. I'm just adding the shape of them, not drawing every individual feather just yet. I see a couple of different groups of feathers. I think that looks pretty good. And now I just need my wings. Now my wings are probably going to go right off the top of my paper, and that's okay, that's cropping. I don't want to try and make them shorter to fit on the paper. So I've got to figure out, where does this wing start? So let's look at where the white feathers end. Probably about in this region here. They kind of end on a curve. I'll put more details into those in a little bit. But then the shoulder of the wing starts further back in the black area of the body. I'm going to use my pencil again, or my Sharpie, to figure out what angle my line needs to go up at. And then my wing bends when it starts going into these feathers. So now I'm going to look at the wing in the back. It begins a little further up on the body. I can use my pencil again. It's coming forward more. And it curves too. Let's see, I think I need to bring it up to about the middle. So I kind of measured it off the first wing. Maybe bring that line up just a little bit higher. So I have all of the general shapes here. I've got to get the back end of the wing. And it's going to curve way out. And it's going to go off the top of the paper. So I have all my general shapes. Now I'm going to start looking for details. I need to figure out where to place the eye. So I think my beak ends just about in this region. And if I look right above this mouth here is where my eye is. So I'm kind of measuring off of my shapes now to figure out where to put everything. I think we might have to go a little bit bigger on that eye. I am going to add the texture of the feathers in here. So I'm going to use this curve as my guideline. For the feet, those ankles are coming forward. And I'm going to look at this toe right here. It stretches forward. Some of them we don't see very much of. Just draw what you can see. If it's coming forward towards you, you don't see the whole toe. Now I'm going to look at this wing here, and I'm going to look for shapes in the wings, and then I'm going to look for the direction that the feathers are going. So there's a big section right here. When I look at the feathers, I'm going to kind of draw what direction they're going, just kind of guidelines. These are very long feathers here. Well, there were a lot of feathers in that wing. Now I'm just going to draw the direction of the feathers and give the body a little bit of texture and kind of show where the tail and the leg begin. So first I'm going to kind of divide the white tail from the body, and I'm just going to give it some of these texture feathers. I'm making sure I'm going in the right direction. The feathers are laying at the right angle. They're just kind of little W's, cursive W's. They're just for texture. And I'm going to do the same thing in the leg. I don't want to have smooth lines where there are overlapping feathers. I have all of my texture drawn with my feathers. I think I pretty well have the body drawn in the correct proportion, so I'm ready to outline. When I outline, I don't want to make the lines look too solid or heavy, so you can see I'm just kind of going along and with kind of a wispy, sketchy line to make it feel more like feathers. And I'm trying to go in the direction that the feathers would have grown. Alright, I'm going to finish up my bald eagle here by shading it. So I have my picture right next to me again. I can see some yellow and orange in the beak and the feet. There's a tiny bit of blue mixed in with the black and gray on the underside of the wing here, so I've grabbed a blue, and I'm going to need black and gray, and that's about it. So remember, you can use crayons very similar to paints, and you can layer them. So in an area where I see that it's a little bit lighter and there's some blue into it, I can go in with my gray and I can build a little bit of blue on top. And that's going to give a lot of variety. So take your time and shade your eagle. Some of you may want to paint your background with your watercolor paints. After you're done, the crayon should really help keep the paints into the background. When you are done with your bald eagle or the bird that you chose, make sure you take a picture of it and turn it in through the Google Classroom. I can't wait to see you here in the art room. Really looking forward to it.